Yes, YouTube, what's occurring? Welcome to Gibbo Garage. Today we are making the Audi less rattly, basically. Yeah, so I haven't really been driving it to work as much recently. I've been in the soft top, not because it's sunny, because the suspension, shall we say, in the Audi is hanging. Got a cheeky little list of things and stuff with play making noises, and I'm going to drive up and down the dirt country track and go and hit all of the potholes so that you can hopefully hear some of these noises. So without further ado, let's cut to some pothole driving. So this is basically just like Mark IV Golf problems. This obviously is a Mark IV Golf platformed car, being an Audi A3. They've all got the same bits on it. I think the rear beam on this car is actually off of a Seat Leon, another Mark IV Golf platform car. They're all like Lego, but today, well, I say that, for the last few months, the rear beam bushes have been absolutely shot. So in this video, or series of videos, the plan is we are going to be changing out the rear bushes for polybushes, and I think the other rattle that you might hear in this video is going to be the rear top mounts. I've got a feeling that smashing through these potholes on a daily basis has destroyed them top mounts, so gonna throw, I think I've got a used pair in my garage already, so I'm gonna throw that on there. Probably strip and clean the brakes while we're in there, because they squeak really bad. And generally gonna have a bit of a play with the rear end on this long weekend. Pow! So the Audi's now up in the air. Let's get some wheels off it and start getting ready to whip this rear beam off all nice. Right, so we've got the wheels off. Now, to change these pulley bushes out, I am basically going to take the rear beam off and do it that way, because it'll be easier to show you lot, and I've got a whole weekend to do it. So, to take the rear beam off, we've got to disconnect a couple of things. We've got rear calipers. They are connected via a hose, which is, so you've got rubber hose. That goes into hard line, which then goes into another rubber hose. You can see that, another rubber hose just down the bottom. And that connects back into the solid line to the front of the car. So we're going to need to disconnect that up under here. We've got handbrake cables, they're going to have to come off, and the ABS sensor wiring, that is going to have to come off. And then we should be ready to start unbolting it, which we are going to pop the top of the damper off, probably, might do the bottom, see how we're feeling at the time. And yeah, basically, once we get the damper out of here on both sides, we'll be ready to tackle the bolt at the front. And once that's undone, we'll drop the beam away and have a lot more to look at. So let's get cracking. Pick up the old exhaust. That's the rear beam brake lines disconnected both sides, 11mm, and then you pull out the little clip that just pops up downwards and sideways on the other side, and then clamped off the old brake line to try and stop that leaking. However, it was dripping a little bit, so improvised dead leg on the brake pedal, using the seat, kind of rolling the seat forwards to hold the brake pedal down, and that way it doesn't drip, which is going to make bleeding it a whole lot easier. I'll show you the other side as well. So that is this side. That's a tricky shot. There's the old brake line. Next we're gonna sort out the cut the cable tie and remove the handbrake from this end. Right there, out the caliper. Alright, so now that we're stripped, handbrake cable's off, brake lines disconnected, next we are going to go up in here. They're pretty sure they're 216s, unbolt that, jack underneath the there, there, when we're putting a jack underneath the spring, and then we'll let one side down at a time. Springs will probably fall out because they're only held in there by spring compression, and then we'll have one dangling rear beam ready to drop down. She's coming out pretty quick, lads. She's coming out pretty quick. So, one rear beam hanging down, and let's just tack them bolts at the front on both sides, and yeah, should be one beam on the floor hopefully. She's flying out now, lad, she's flying out. So, back under the beam, we have popped the bolts out. That is the main bolt that holds your beam in place in there. We've removed that both sides, and now hopefully we'll smoothly lower the beam on the jack onto the floor, and that's a win, hopefully, fingers crossed. I see the error in my ways. I can't get the beam out because the dampers are sticking up into the wheel well. So it would have been better to just leave the dampers at the top and undo the lower bolt. I'll remember that next time, but yeah, let's take the lower bolts out the dampers and smoothly slide it out. That's a win. Rear beams on the floor, and yeah, weren't too bad. It's kind of covered in like mud and crap from living on dirt roads. You see that behind me? Yeah, I know the sun ain't great today, but well, it's just the day I'm doing the rear beam on, so we've worked with what we got. But yeah, next I think we'll go and have a little tour of the rear beam and see some of the highlights, some of the lowlights and some of the crusty bits and what we're going to be changing. And then I'm going to say it'll be the next video that we will be popping bushes in and out, and then hopefully in the next video we'll be driving it with no knocks and bangs, and what more could you ask for? Hopefully it'll be just as sunny, and hopefully I will get some Easter eggs because it's the Easter weekend. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please consider subscribing, click the like button below, and jump in the comments if this has helped you out in any way, shape or form, or you're just even considering doing it yourself, or you just want to know what's going on. All of the above are good. Let us know. Until next time, peace.